Texoma's #1 rated newscast, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at 6 p.m.
I know it's a lot of money, and I know it's people's babies out there. They're their boats and some of their livelihood, but it's not worth a life.
Nearly 24 boats destroyed in fire. How many millions of dollars in damage is estimated to have been done? Good evening. Welcome to News 12 at 6. I'm Dan Thomas.
And I'm Maureen. Kane. Smoke could be seen all over Grayson County today when a boat fire erupted, destroying 20 boats and an entire dock at Highport Marina.
News 12's Kristen Weaver kicks off our team coverage. She's at Lake Texoma. Kristen, what are crews doing right now?
Yeah, you guys, crews are still out here taking a look at all of the rubble. And there is a really strong smell of smoke. And they're worried that there might be a chance of another flare-up. I did have a chance earlier today to speak to one woman who was on the dock when it all began.
I have several clients on this dock.
Jamie Mason was down cleaning some boats at the U-Dock in the Highport Marina this morning at around 9 a.m. She owns Afdex, a boat cleaning business, with many clients that had boats right here.
A worker, a mechanic, I believe, came out of another boat saying he needed a fire extinguisher.
Mason told us they couldn't find an extinguisher in time, and a fire exploded and began to spread, quickly engulfing other boats in just minutes.
Everybody just needed to get off the dock and be safe. And I know it's a lot of money, and I know it's people's babies out there. They're their boats and some of their livelihood, but it's not worth a life.
We're told there have been no serious injuries aside from small burns. The airport fire department tells us they were able to save 3 boats. The hardest part for them is, ironically, the water.
Because gaining access to the fire is our biggest issue, just because it's on the water.
We feel very helpless for sure, and feel very disheartened for a lot of clients and boat owners for sure.
Mason takes comfort in the fact that she and everyone else got off the dock alive.
I'm just very sorry. Again, glad everyone's safe. Someone's definitely watching over a lot of people today.
Now, of course, there were 8 departments in total that came out here. A lot of the firefighters are gone right now, but there is still a lot of work to be done. News 12's Abby Maynard is now here to explain kind of the future. What's going on now, Abby?
Yeah, that's right, Kristen. The state fire marshal is investigating, and emergency management is also on scene here. They say the dark plume that filled the sky earlier today is their biggest concern now that the fire is out. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality is currently testing the air to see what impact there may be on the community, and workers have also laid down a boom in the water to prevent the oil and gas from spreading into other parts of the lake. The owner of 2 of those boats completely destroyed today says combined they're worth $250,000. He says after 22 years at Highport Marina, it's the memories he's had here that make this day even more heartbreaking.
This isn't the end of boating. Our hope is that Highport Marina puts another U-Dock up, and the same family and friends that were on the dock that we know and love are back together again. That it's not the end of high school and we never see each other again, that we're all back on the same boathouse.
The Highport Marina does not have a total amount of the damage, but the boat owner we talked to earlier values and estimates the value of all of those boats to be around $2 million. Now, deputies just secured the scene here for the evening. We'll hear why firefighters say this fire was so difficult to fight tonight at 10. At Highport Marina, I'm Abby Maynard, News 12.
Still see it burning there in the background.
Yeah, a few flames in the background.
Yeah.
And you could see that plume of smoke all over Grayson County, probably north of the Red River too. I'm guessing you got a close-up view of it today.
Yeah, I saw those huge plumes coming out of the Highport Marina there at my house, just a couple of miles away there. Called the newsroom, found out that it was coming from Highport Marina. That was pretty alarming for me. I have a lot of family and friends that have boats out there. I was concerned for their safety. I got out there, got on the scene just a little bit ahead of the fire crews. Take a look at some video that I got from the V-Dock. This is right next door to U-Dock there. As you can see, just the flames just shooting into the sky there as just nearly 24 boats burn there. The Highport Marina staff, the Marine Max staff, a lot of other boaters out there all did a fantastic job of rescuing some boats nearby. As you can see, they were putting water as well onto the flames from V-Dock, trying to shoot it across the way. Towboat US also on the scene, using their water cannon to get water on those boats as well. The heat there, Maureen, was incredible. Even on the dock next door there on V-Dock, you could just feel that heat radiating over there. I didn't have a thermometer on me, a temperature gauge on me at the time, but it had to have been at least 120 degrees in the dock next door.
Wow, incredibly difficult to fight those flames too, especially for those firefighters out there, and lots of people going by to watch, and then people also watching on our live stream. This was our tower cam video of those flames taken off. About 623,000 people watched those flames live on the tower cam feed on Facebook. It was shared over 8,000 times, ultimately reaching nearly 3 million people online. But millions of other people saw the video as well on news stations across the country. And of course, we will continue to follow this story.
Yeah, absolutely. Big story. Well, in other news, Dallas police will not comment on how the stepdaughter of a local pain doctor died. Her body found in a creek just days after her stepfather was charged in federal court for prescribing the drugs that killed 7 people. 17-year-old Michaela Mitchell was identified by the Dallas Medical Examiner on Monday. Rumors, though, circulating regarding the manner of death. In fact, Fox 4 in Dallas spoke with a woman who claimed to be friends of the family and also claimed that police told the family the Mitchell's body was found tortured and dismembered. Well, according to a family member's Facebook page, that family friend was not telling the truth.
Our mom went and picked her up in Abilene, and then she came home for a week, and then she ran away again with these boys and left town with them, and now we're never going to see her again.
Well, this time Dallas police say they are investigating the case as homicidal violence. If you have any information, contact local law enforcement.
Well, we have more details tonight about a toddler who was run over and killed last night in Carter County. The sheriff's office says just after 9 last night, children were playing outside a home on Mount Washington when a car pulled into the driveway, running over the 18-month-old. Sheriff Chris Bryant says they've ruled it an accident. That child's name has not been released. A man was flown to the hospital after his truck crashed into an oncoming train in Cook County.
News 12's Sarah Humphrey tells us how it happened.
Troopers say Stephen Gunther was headed west on FM 3002 south of Valley View when he drove into an oncoming train.
A train was already on the tracks northbound. The driver failed to stop and crashed into the side of the train.
A witness sent us these photos from the crash. It happened just before 8 Tuesday night at the Lone Oak Railroad crossing. Gunter was flown to a Plano hospital in critical condition.
In your travels, if you come across the crossbucks or arms lowering for a train, pay attention and try to stay as far back as possible.
A BNSF worker says Gunther may have been speeding and couldn't stop before hitting the train. Crews say trains usually travel at 55 miles per hour in this area. In Cook County, Sarah Humphrey, News 12.
Well, turning to weather now, Texoma getting to some dangerous heat in some areas. Steve LaNore is here with all the details. Steve.
Well, that's right. In fact, the National Weather Service out of Tulsa has just extended the heat advisory for Pushmataha and Choctaw counties only at this point in time, all the way through July 22nd. That, of course, is Saturday. Elsewhere, though, we just had a lot of heat, not quite to heat advisory levels. You can see in the visible satellite a lot of sunshine today, and it's very hot. Temperature still at 97 degrees in Marietta, 95 Sherman and Denison, and 94 in Hugo. Still feels like 105 in Paris, 103 in Antlers. Again, currently, technically, only Push and Choctaw under the heat advisory, but we're all in on the same deal tomorrow. A hot evening and a really hot day again tomorrow. I've got your weekend numbers. Is there any relief? Talk about it when I come back.
A Texas man drowned early this morning at Turner Falls.
News 12's Sydney Gray spoke with Davis police about how it all happened and why some visitors need to be more careful.
We try to man the pools at all times, but, we do. It's swim at your own risk.
Davis Police Chief Dan Cooper says signs are posted all over Turner Falls warning people to stay safe while swimming at the park. But early Wednesday morning, Orlando Guerrero either didn't see or ignored those signs and drowned. Police responded around 2:30 this morning and didn't locate the 34-year-old's body until a little after 4 a.m.
Somebody's family come here with 5 people and left with 4. I'm talking about that would be pretty upsetting.
Gene King says he and his family arrived at Turner Falls just as first responders began their search. He says it was sad to watch.
I didn't really feel that comfortable being here after seeing that happen.
Chief Cooper says Guerrero was camping at the park in town from the DFW area. Cooper says lifeguards are only on duty during the day. He says when people swim at night, they're taking a risk.
Officers once they make the rounds, if they see anybody after hours, especially after dark, we advise them they need to leave the area just for their safety.
But King says the park isn't safe enough.
They have a lifeguard bench over there, but I don't see nobody.
Cooper says he suspects Guerrero slipped and fell at a drop-off near the waterfall. Cooper says paramedics tried to revive him for 10 minutes before he was pronounced dead.
The bottom is very unlevel. It's not like a normal swimming pool or beach area at the lake.
As for Guerrero's family,
very distraught, heartbroken.
Cooper urges people to be cautious of their surroundings and pay close attention to how fast the current is moving. In Davis, Sydney Gray, News 12.
A nationally known advocate picks up our story on Lone Grove's water. What residents think about all the publicity?
Plus, the Oklahoma State Cowboys plan their attack on opposing Big 12 secondaries. We're going to hear from the mullet man himself, Mike Gundy.
From the Weather Authority, here's Steve LaNore.
And the midsummer sizzle continues. You can see on today's TMC time-lapse, not much to show you, but some scattered cumulus clouds that are tending to thin out as they do each afternoon as drier air from above mixes in. We ought to be going into pretty much a clear evening and overnight, and then we'll see some scattered clouds forming again during the day tomorrow, only to break up late in the afternoon. Not expecting any rain tomorrow, that's for sure. Ardmore topping out at 97 this afternoon. Sherman Denison 96, one of the hottest days so far of the week, and the hottest so far in Ardmore. Latex on the stats. Power generation will go until midnight tonight. Your sunrise tomorrow is at 6:31 in the morning. Air temps right now still hanging on to some hot numbers. 97 this hour, Marietta, 95 Paris, Ada, you're at 93, and also Tishomingo. Of course, the feels like temperature is the important one really in this kind of a pattern, and we're looking at those numbers to generally be about 105 or so. In fact, this afternoon, many spots were at 105 or higher. Heat index will have about the same story tomorrow, which does put us in the danger zone. I want to talk a minute about that. You get inside a hot car and you roll the windows up. Let's say the outside temperature is 95 degrees. In just 10 minutes, the interior temperature of that car is up to 114, and in 20 minutes, it's up to 124. So I hope you can see why it's so important to never leave a pet or a person in a vehicle sitting there in this kind of heat, okay? Just a big no-no to be doing that. Please don't even think about it. Remember everybody that's in the car and get them out. Here's our water vapor imagery. High pressure is centered just to our north, as you can see by the classic clockwise flow. But this is a big system, and it's influencing the weather over much of the middle of the country. The worst of it is actually just to our north, where an excessive heat warning is in effect from Kansas City and Wichita back to St. Louis. But it will get a little hotter in Texoma, too, over the next day or two. We're going to be peaking out just under 100, it looks like, by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. And the heat index values, like we saw today, will be over that, probably about 104 to 110 in that range in your backyard again tomorrow. And Friday and Saturday and Sunday, we're kind of stuck in the rut for a while here. A warm night ahead. Temperatures generally in the mid-70s. In fact, even by 9 p.m., most of us will be 90 plus, and the heat index will still be close to 100 in many spots through the evening hours. The air temps tomorrow will be just under 100, 96 to 99 degrees, and we're looking at winds tonight pretty light, south-southeast about 5 to 10. Tomorrow winds about 10 to 15 from the south, and it's just going to stay hot right through the weekend. Our only hope for any relief, and it's a low-end deal, a 20% chance of showers with a very weak front on Monday, and we will be right back.
A story we ran earlier this week on dirty water in Lone Grove has caught the attention of nationally known consumer advocate Aaron Brockovich.
News 12's Andrew Freeman returned to the community to ask residents what they think of the spotlight.
She was wonderful, and she saved a lot of people that were sick from the water that was going on in her county.
Many Lone Grove residents were familiar with Aaron Brockovich, who in 1993 exposed a California gas and electric company that had been poisoning the community's water supply for decades, yielding a $333 million settlement to more than 600 residents. In 2000, that story was made into a movie starring Julia Roberts. Now Brockovich is a consumer advocate known nationwide. On social media Tuesday, she turned her attention to Texoma.
We think it's really cool that someone like Aaron Brockovich would take notice to a small town like Lone Grove.
The water here has been nasty for a very long time.
Monday, this video went viral on social media. The city says the discolored water was caused by low water levels that mixed in sediment. but say they turned on additional water wells to solve the problem. The city told us they had the issue fixed by Monday evening. Brockovich shared our story saying she wasn't convinced, pointing to another story News 12 has done on Lone Grove's water in the past.
I believe she's right.
I believe she's right too. I mean, she's
the
something
woman
she's
of
done
the...
for a long time.
But one resident says actions speak louder than words.
Do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Lone Grove doesn't have the money right now for the things that they're accusing it to have. You know, you got money, do something about it. Help out. You're a big star.
While others say speaking out just may get the ball rolling.
I do think it's important.
Maybe it'll gain the attention of someone important around here and something will be done about it.
Brockovich couldn't be reached, and the city manager declined to comment Wednesday. In Lone Grove, Andrew Freeman, News 12.
All right. Well, it would be great if we could get her down here. Help out. To see what's going on.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Well, a lot of people have been keeping their eye on another situation. I'm talking, of course, about Mike Gundy's hair. And a lot of concern there.
Always
for
a
some
topic.
people. Yeah.
Always a topic in the Big 12, one of many. Coming up, Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy talks about his plan of attack for the Big 12 this year, and the Southeastern baseball team officially welcomes their new baseball coach to town. We talk about it next.
Now, your award-winning local sports coverage. Here's David Reed.
Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett says that he and the team still believe in Ezekiel Elliott. Says he hasn't talked to Zeke about his latest off-the-field incident yet, but will on Friday. Today, another major turn in that case. Dallas police have suspended the investigation of Elliott after he was allegedly involved in an altercation at a bar on Sunday that left a 30-year-old man with a broken nose. Police say they have not been able to reach the victim and are citing a lack of witnesses to pursue the case any further at this time. If we took anything away from Big 12 Media Days, it's that this could be an entertaining and perhaps unpredictable year in the league, with two brand new coaches at OU and Texas and the now tenured Mike Gundy. The Oklahoma State Cowboys should be fun to watch and should have some good results, bringing back a lot of weapons and firepower from a team that had no shortage of putting points on the board a year ago. Mike Gundy says this offense should be able to keep pace with anyone.
We have a group of wideouts that are certainly the best as a group that I've ever been around. They're unselfish. They understand there's not enough footballs to go around. We're going to do the best we can to keep everybody involved. Some of them are going to draw safety over the top. Some of them can draw a little bit of double coverage. We have to go to the other guys.
It's been 37 years since the Southeastern baseball team introduced a new head coach, but they do today with Zach Crabtree being officially welcomed to campus. Crabtree is a Southeastern grad and has a lot of strong roots in Durant. He turned Murray State College into a winner, took a 12-win team and made them a 40-plus win team, winning a national title in 2013. He takes over for Mike Matheny at the ballpark in Durant, and Crabtree is ready to get to work.
Here we're going to sell them on that they're going to get a great education. We're going to win a lot of baseball games and hopefully win a few championships in their 4 years here. And that when they leave here, they're going to be better young men and ready to be productive members of society and great husbands and fathers when they leave here.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And a 7-day forecast showing no relief from the heat right through the weekend. Just a small chance of a shower on Monday.
All right.
Still not cracking 100.
Well,
on the 7 day.
Close.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Good night.